You always start it.
No, just impressions, late night coming up, impressions on what you've seen so far from the team. Do you like them? Healthy, depth, everything?
One at a time. I like them. Healthy so far. Depth will be a challenge, especially if anybody gets nicked up, obviously. But no, it's been a good first. What have we been going about 10 days? So it's been a good first bit. We've already taken 4 days off so far, just to make sure we can get to the 12 without having to take days off when it gets closer to games when you don't feel comfortable doing so. But I don't think we're ahead of any schedule by any means. But I do think that San Juan put us in a situation to at least be where we need to be at this point in time. But we need to start getting a lot of stuff in from this point forward.
You mentioned in the past conversations you had with people at the University of Texas, conversations you had with Arterio Morrison's family. Just what was it about those conversations that made you confident in bringing him aboard to begin with?
I respect the question, but I've already said I'm not talking about that. I've already made a comment, so
okay.
and that comment will stand. Definitely, because there's an ongoing deal going on, and I'm certainly not going to get into anything else other than what's already been stated.
Well, can you shed any light? Maybe the same answer, but can you shed any light on just the process of bringing him here before?
Well, there was, it was obviously well vetted. So.
You've got a pretty new roster, similar to a couple of years ago. Chemistry, do you like it? Does a trip to Puerto Rico help get guys closer?
I think that the chemistry has been good. I think that the summer certainly put us probably ahead since we have so many new faces, even though our core is still the same with Juan and KJ and Kev. But I think, Dave, the chemistry is certainly one that I don't know that we're ahead of schedule, but they certainly seem to like playing with each other.
KJ is still raw, his legs are big, he looks a little bit leaner. Was that important for him to go to the floor to be able to move more against different guys?
I think KJ could play anywhere you put him. So I don't think his body has changed because he's playing more on the perimeter. I think it's just a natural deal when you. I'll put it to you like this: he's got pretty good genetics when it comes to his physical development, because he seems to me, as you say, to be look better even now than even last year, and last year he looked pretty good. So.
How do you tackle the depth issue? What are the things you can do to make it less of an issue, and can that start now? Does that have to be in season? What are you looking at?
We got 10. 10 is plenty. One probably will redshirt, so we got 9, and I'm not going to play 9 a lot of minutes anyway. You guys know that. So it's the practice stuff is fine from a depth standpoint because we got enough walk-ons, and we got some good walk-ons. So that doesn't really bother me. What would bother me would be injuries, and I don't know how you prepare for that now. I'm not really into load management at this juncture of the season. So what we could do is be open to bringing somebody in at Christmas. You could do that, and then you could add some depth on the perimeter and could eliminate some of that, if that's an option, which right now we're certainly looking at that.
Are there players available?
Yeah, we wouldn't sign somebody, just sign somebody. But yeah, there could be guys available, especially international guys.
Have you decided on Zach yet? Redshirt?
I don't think Jamari will be a guy that we could look into doing that now. I think Zach still is, and the arrangement that we had with Zach and what he wanted, I think, is very fair of what he requested. So unless something changes on the interior, I do see Zach still redshirting at this juncture.
What do you think of the three-point game this year for you?
Well, I'm all for it. I actually think that we probably shoot it better than what than what maybe it's been given or I've said that we've shot it, because I always say that will be a concern that we have to address, consistent perimeter shooting. So naturally, that's what everybody will look to, which is true. But we got guys. Kevin's much improved. Juan is much improved. Nick and Johnny can really shoot the basketball. Marco's improving. I mean, so we got, and Hunter's probably as good a 5-man shooter as there is in the country. So we've got some guys that can make shots, but the consistency and the number that we would take, it takes somebody makes 10 threes against you, that's 15 twos you got to make to catch up. And so I don't really think that we're going to be negligent or whatever behind the arc, but I do believe that's going to be an area that we should always thrive to get better at, because I don't think we'll be a team that consistently makes 12 a game.
Go ahead.
How has Furphy fit in? Is he overwhelmed, or is he doing well, or how's he doing?
I think he's doing really well. He's, he's even though he's young, he's still 18. So we've had Svi was here when he was 16. So we've had younger here, but just young in the way that we do things over here and those things. But he's very, very bright, and he's got great feel. And physical strength will be the one thing that would probably hold him back a little bit, if anything, just because he's got a body like Svi, and Svi early in his career, could get knocked around a little bit. But Johnny's going to be a really good player.
Bill, I know you said, refer back to the statement, the one question I had was, can you tell, as you said in the statement, you guys suspended him, can you learn of the allegation? When did you learn of the allegation, and when did you suspend him to the date?
I've said all I'm going to say. It's you guys can ask, and your questions are fair, but I've been instructed the correct way to handle this, and even though it may not please those that are asking the questions, but it's still the best way. And so everything that's been said has been said. And what was said was not much. But until this is completed, there's not much you can say.
From a recruiting standpoint, Coach, I know this weekend is always big. Have you guys changed? Maybe, I know in years past you used to bring in a bunch of bodies. Maybe is this year a little bit different? Maybe less bodies? Has that changed over time in terms of visitors?
As term green and visits?
Yeah.
Last year we brought in I think we brought in 12 or 13 or whatever. Right. And so the thing about it is, not always do you guys know all the guys that we bring in. There's one or two that can sometimes sneak through the cracks. Mm-hmm. So the NCAA limit, it varies over time. I think it's, because of COVID, we went to like 35 over 2 years. Now it's back to 28 over 2 years, and there's proposal to change that to maybe make it a higher number now and everything. But we'll get right up against that number. What we won't do probably is bring as many in early, because you may want to save some for the portal late.
You had those extra practices ahead of Puerto Rico, and you had the shortened boot camp as a result. Just how do you see the benefits of those extra practices still being borne out as the preseason goes on?
Well, the biggest thing is, I would say, would be getting an idea on how we want to play. So I think they have a better idea, simple concepts conceptually of how we want to play. So I think that the extra 10 practices were really good for us. As far as now we still got to get into, how we're going to defend, how we're going to do some different things that we didn't talk about at all this summer. Like, I didn't bring up defense one time this summer in practice. I talked about in the games, and of course that always works when you never practice it, but you try it in games. We'll get better in those areas, I think, quickly, but we got to spend a lot of time on defense.
How important is a sellout, so to speak, at late night? Or a full house, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. You guys probably know better, because I was told that they gave people an opportunity to get their tickets or reserved a spot for them, and I was told that filled up immediately. am I accurate on that? So what that means now, the people that reserve the spots need to show up, because in the past, you know, it didn't matter if you reserved the spots or not. There were people that, through general admission, that would be there to fill those spots if seats were available. So I'm sure that will discourage people from thinking they can just show up and get in. And that may be the intent of it. I'm not really for sure, but it is important. It's important to our guys because our guys take great pride in it. It's a great way to tip off the season, and it's become something that's been so good for so long, and you don't want to have something that's been so good or so long not be as good because of the technicality and how you allow people in, not because of an interest level. So I'm believing it's going to be great. I know the show will be great, and it'll be a fun night for everybody. We've got new lighting and new sound systems, so you know, at least when Flo Rida plays at the end of the evening, we should be able to recognize a couple of the words, because in my mind the sound system hasn't been that great that when I didn't even recognize all of Snoop Dogg's songs at that particular night.
Was that one of Larry Brown's greatest accomplishments, bringing late night here?
No, I think Larry Brown winning a national championship, I still ranks high. I still think that ranks higher. Recruiting Danny and winning a national championship probably rank higher than late night.
Are you gonna bust a move out there, Coach? Because they're talking about, Kevin was saying, you guys got a dance routine. Are you gonna be out there dancing with them?
That would be negative. That would be no, and you can take that, and I won't have any more comment on that either, because that's not happening.
Anything else?